And welcome back to the Raw Draw Reviews channel. And guys, today's the day. It is May 4th, or otherwise known as Star Wars Day to us fans. And what better way to celebrate than with Star Wars? But not just any type of Star Wars, no. Instead of doing a traditional figure review or something like that, I thought of doing something pretty interesting. What if we were to look at some of these items up here from this top shelf, around the room, and show you guys some of these oddball collectibles or pretty rare items that I have that have probably never seen the light of day on this channel. I'm talking comic books, artwork, rare items that you guys have probably seen in the background whenever I do things like this and want a closer look. So let's go ahead and check out some of these items that I have sitting on this shelf and around the studio. And hopefully, you guys will find this video very interesting because I'm pretty sure there's a few items in here that would, fascinate you guys. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off because I have quite a bit of items already, and this is only on my top shelf. I'm not even including things like over there and things like that. So hope you guys enjoy this fun little review or sort of overview of these collectibles that I have had sitting on the shelf, and I'll catch you all in a bit. Starting things off, here is my lunchbox collection. So I am a sucker for lunchboxes, and whenever it comes down to the Star Wars ones, yeah, I have to get my hands on them. This one isn't as old, but I think this one I got off of Amazon. But I love the artwork. It is just amazing. You can see the attention to detail. It is beautiful. It's got some beautiful artwork on the sides. Just check that out. And then moving on to some of my other favorite ones, I have the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back lunchbox. This one was during the Star Wars Celebration, and this one is probably one of my favorites. So you can see right here, it is dual-sided, has some amazing artwork as well. It's stunning on like every single side, as you can see right here. You got the Battle of Hoth leading down to the Super Star Destroyer right here. That is like one of my favorites. Then we have the Return of the Jedi one that came out, and this one is so cool. It's based around the, original poster design, things like that. And it actually came with like a little blanket, I remember, inside, and it has the whole picture as well. But nothing compares to my prized possession. This is the old original Return of the Jedi lunchbox from Thermos, and as you can see, it's in pretty decent condition. I remember getting this from Magical back in the day, and yeah, it has this beautiful poster art of Luke and Jabba's palace right here. The Thermos branding on the bottom has this picture of Wicket on the side. You got Lando and a skiff guard. You got the band over here. You got Jabba on the bottom, and then on the back, you got this amazing artwork. And though, unfortunately, it's not for lunch, it does store more collectibles inside. I have the original VHSs of, the films. So here's Return of the Jedi. I have Empire right here. It's still in its little cardboard sleeve. And then the original film. Check that out. So it's really cool. I love, collecting some of the more original items, things like that. So these VHS tapes were definitely a go-to for this type of collection. And the same can be said for this one right here. Inside of here, I have some awesome lightsabers that are like prized possessions of mine. So this is the Disney Parks Ezra Bridger lightsaber, and I've seen this thing go for resale of quite a bit, and I'm really happy to, have it in my collection when it come out. But this one for me is probably one of my favorite lightsabers of all time. And of course, this is sort of the old retractable lightsaber, so it comes out. Look at that beautiful glow. has an amazing light and sound to it. And then watch this. It even features the blaster that's part of his lightsaber hilt. But yeah, this one is definitely one of my favorites out of the collection. And the other one I own is an oldie but a goodie. This is like the go-to lightsaber for me when I used to, lightsaber duel my siblings and things like that. This was my prized possession. I would always keep this on me. This was the original Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber, and it's also the retractable kind, but I just loved it so much, and you can definitely tell by the wear and tear and things like that. It has seen many battles, but this has always been one of my prized possessions, that I've always held on to as a kid and still to this day. And speaking of, Star Wars Celebration, this has to be one of my favorite sort of like items from this period of the celebration. So this is during the 2020 Anaheim collection, and this is when they were doing, of course, Empire Strikes Back. This is where I kind of went a little, crazy with their collectibles, but nothing compares to the Tauntaun plush. As you can see, of course, obviously he does have the original tag, things like that, and yes, I bet you can already tell. But when you pull down his little zipper right here on the stomach, out comes a tiny Luke Skywalker that is frozen up. He is blue as Hoth, and you just stick him in there to warm him up. But I thought this was such a funny collectible, and I had to get my hands on it. Over here, near my door, I have this pin board full of, different pins, things like that. But a majority of them come from the Disney parks, and I would collect these whenever I would go on my trips over there to like Disney World and things like that. And I have some pretty cool ones. I have like the insignias and symbols, things like that. I have some pretty rare ones like the Rogue One pin, the Galactic Knights. I actually have a poster of that. I'll show you guys in a bit. But there's some pretty cool ones. Like, check out this Stormtrooper. That's like a barcode. That's probably one of my favorites. Then you have the ones that are like Disney related, sort of like, that goofy Darth Vader one right there. And then you have Chip and Dale as the Ewoks. There's the poster I was talking about right there. On my bigger shelf over here, I have, numerous helmets and things like that. From the Black Series, I got the TIE Fighter popcorn bucket. That's an R2 unit from the Disney parks. That's a Mouse Droid popcorn bucket. And then I have my Rogue One collection up here. That is still like sealed. I have the like 12-inch figures from Target that have never been opened. I got my Lucasfilm mug that goes perfectly with my Lucasfilm cap. And then over here on the other shelf, I have some other collectibles. I, of course, have the sort of like Barbie doll collection that they did of the Forces of Destiny. I have Rey, Jyn, and Sabine. I have a 12-inch Luke right here. This is one of my bobbleheads from back in the day. The original, or not original, but like anniversary collection, Slave One. And then these items are probably like, so the more interesting ones, but I have the sort of like thermal grenade sodas. So there's, of course, Sprite. And then I have Coca-Cola right there. But these are pretty, not old, but this is like when the park first came out. I've got this Igloo lunchbox with like Ralph McQuarrie artwork all over it. And then I got some more helmets as well. I've got comics galore right here. This consists of pretty much all of the, I believe it was 2014 Marvel Star Wars, every single book from that sort of like wave. I've got a few oldies and new ones there and there throughout the collection. I've got ones from like the Empire lineup, things like that. So those are within there as well. These are probably some of my more favorite ones from the Dark Horse series. But yeah, easily I'd have to say there's more than like maybe 200 comics on the shelf alone. I've got all of these different encyclopedias of Star Wars. My grandparents would always get me one every year, so yeah, I'm stocked up on pretty much every type of Star Wars lore. I've got some one shots there and some pretty cool ones. These are, of course, records from the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett and things like that. I also have some of the original records from the film. So there's Return of the Jedi. Let's see here. I have the original film one right here. But yeah, these are my records, and they have all of the original scores on them. I've got different entertainment magazines and things like that. I have a few of the coasters from my time at Batuu, there at the Disney parks. These were like some of the coolest little like souvenirs that I got during that trip. And of course, I have prized possessions as far as with comic books as well. I have some of the copies that I got signed by Dave Dorman. So these are some of his artwork featured on these books from Dark Empire, the X-Wing Rogue Squadron collection. Got another one here from Dark Empire. This artwork he did on the Darth Maul Death Sentence book. Another Dark Empire one. And this one has to be one of my favorites. I walk into a comic book shop and no joke, I come across this comic book, $3, never knowing that it is signed by like two of the creators of this book. And yeah, this was probably the deal of a lifetime for me. It is so cool. And finally, we are reaching the sort of like main feature over here with this gigantic shelf full of things. But I have some, items from episode 1. I got this Darth Maul doll there in the back. I have the Padme Amidala, or Queen Amidala doll. And that is one of the key sort of like milestones for our road to 1,000. So just a friendly reminder, if we do reach 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a full-on makeup tutorial while unboxing this doll. I am not kidding about that. I have some figures from someone back here. I have my infamous Jar Jar Binks puzzle that has skyrocketed as one of my best YouTube shorts. I have a few other things there, little characters I would collect from the vintage collection. I got these glasses from the 40th anniversary of Empire back here. They are like frosted glasses, like from back in the day. I got this like sealed exclusive shirt of Vader. And this is what I'm saying, guys. Like during this time, I was like really into this collection. Got Ewoks vintage collection set right here. My Hyperreal Luke that we reviewed on the channel. Tons of different sealed products from the sort of like signature collection that they used to do back in the day with the Star Wars figures. I have an old-fashioned comic book that I have of Star Wars right there. Of course, my beautiful prototype Boba Fett helmet from the Black Series. Got a few sealed characters here. My original Kenner Rancor. I have this pretty interesting silicone mask of Emperor Palpatine. This was from Walmart, and this is during Halloween. It is a hand-painted mask of Palpatine that has never come out of the box, but it's really cool. Got a few pop figure, sort of like collectibles up here. My top deck, or tech deck, Yoda skateboard here. This is an interesting collectible. It's like a 12-inch Anakin Skywalker, or like Darth Vader figure from like the original Return of the Jedi. but it comes with like a storybook as well, like a hardcover book. I have some of my first editions back here. I got Cara Dune, Steel Sealed. I have DJ Rex from the Disney parks. And I also have this amazing artwork that was done by Dave Dorman and is signed as well. This is during the time that he had the two actors. It was Ray Park and the one that does the stunt choreography, I believe, of Vader in the Obi-Wan series. And of course, I had to save this, the best for last. But thanks to one of my aunts, I managed to get this. This is the Coca-Cola promotional like standee of the brand when they collabed with Star Wars recently. And check that out. You have artwork of the cans here. Super incredible. You of course get this giant cardboard stand right here. The cans go inside those little slots, and then on the back, I don't want to pull it out, but it has a little plug where these little LEDs will actually blink like stars. So yeah, this is probably one of my favorite collectibles of all time. And there you have it. Oh wait, ooh, can't even see that thing. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me sharing my other half of the collection that I have featured of Star Wars. And I thought it was really cool getting to share, some of these items that have never been seen before. And it was very fitting for Star Wars Day today. But yeah, overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this, really awesome video that I got to make. Um, Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Star Wars week. I know I am. I'm probably gonna watch every single film that is out there, except for the sequels. And then I'll probably move on to some of the cooler series that have come out, like the Maul series, things like that. Oh, actually, I think today is the finale. Okay, I'm gonna end it here because I gotta go watch. I'll see you guys later. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me. Where is my popcorn bucket? And real quick, I wanted to give a huge shout out to each and every one of you guys for helping support the channel. You guys are the reason I do this. I am so lucky to have a wonderful fan base, and being able to share my passion for Star Wars on this channel is a dream come true. So with that said, may the force be with you always.